What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And folks, Biden believes that Trump is a fascist. So says the White House. That is right, folks. Now, we just had this article come out the other day from The Atlantic, and there's an unconfirmed report from an anonymous source that says Trump was talking to somebody had gotten stabbed at Fort Hood, I think. Don't quote me on that one. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. My memory's all jacked up. But anyway, somebody, a U.S. Army soldier got stabbed and killed. And Trump went and met the family, talked with the family, blah, 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 blah. Said, you know, we'll pay for the funeral, blah, 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 all this good stuff. And then when they was back in the White House, after the funeral bill came in or whatever, he said something about, oh, that's BS. I'm not going to pay for that $60,000. That's way too much. Pay for our Mexicans, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes on to say some stuff about wanting generals like Hitler had, right? Because of the woke garbage in our army right now. But okay, but it comes from a source that it's unconfirmed, and it's an anonymous source. And then people come out and refute this story. Two people come out and refute this, say this is garbage, this never happened, none of this ever happened. The army ended up paying for the funeral, and the family of the lady that was killed, her family comes out and said Trump has been nothing but supportive to the family, he's been nothing but nice, blah, blah, blah. They said this never happened, but that doesn't stop the corporate press, the Democrats, and all of these other people on the left from running with this narrative, even though, right, like, it's being actively debunked as the story is breaking. It's being debunked, right? Like, in the story, it's debunked. The Atlantic article it debunked it, right? It's like, but they're still running with this. These people have a problem, folks. These people have some major problem, something going on in their head. I don't know what it is exactly. It can't be simply Trump derangement syndrome, right? Like, even Trump derangement syndrome, there's got to be some breaks in here of reality, right? It can't be nothing but false reality on a continuous feed 100% of the time, right? 25 days an hour, 25 hours a day, 942 days a week. It doesn't work like that, right? Like Trump, like Cenk Uygur has these moments of lucidity, it seems like, where he's there, man. He says stuff that's just based, and you're like, yeah, go Cenk. And then he'll turn right around and come out and say, yeah, well, Donald Trump called service members suckers and losers. No, he didn't. That's another made-up story. That doesn't stop these people. It's just some of the most insane stuff. Let's get into this story before I rant on forever, because I can talk, folks. Even though if you know me in person, you know I'm not one to just come out there and just start talking and rambling like I'm doing right now. No, I don't do that at all. You ask me a question, I'll give you a direct answer. Yes, no, it's over there. It wasn't me. Whatever. Just boom, that's it. And I'm turn around and I'm back to work. I'm not talking. But, you know, for some reason, when I get in front of a camera, like, I urge everybody, do me a favor. We're going to pause right quick. Do me a favor. Smash the like button for me if you don't mind. I really need you guys' help. I really would love to break out of this box that YouTube has put me in. I really don't want to resort to having to start another YouTube channel. I really want to break out of this box, and I really need you guys' help to do this. So smash that like button for me. Share this video anywhere and everywhere you can with anybody and everybody you can. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everybody you know. And if you're new around here, subscribe. Subscribe to this channel for sure. Let's get into this story right quick, y'all. President Joe Biden believes his predecessor, former President Donald Trump, is a fascist. Right? The White House said Wednesday, the clearest sign yet of what Biden believes is at stake with the election. Less than 2 weeks away, folks. Oh, we don't want to vote in a fascist. Right? They come out with a story, literally, and said that, you know, because just Trump being Hitler wasn't working anymore. So they had to come out and say he's Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini all wrapped up into one. A fascist commune Nazi. In what world does that make any sense, y'all? In what world does that make sense? These people are literally insane. The comments from White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre came a day after a series of articles reported that Trump's former chief of staff, retired Marine General John Kelly, said the former president fits into the general definition of fascist and wanted the kind of generals Hitler had. Yeah, he's like, this is just some of the most nuts reporting I think I've ever seen. These people are so disingenuous with this reporting right here. And this is corporate press, right? Like, you saw the headline. This is from a local outlet. This is from, I believe it was what, CNN? Yeah, CNN. As a matter of fact, CNN is telling you this. So it's like these people, their news is everywhere, folks. And they lie through their freaking teeth. This is why you got to subscribe to this channel, y'all. Or at least subscribe to somebody that knows the corporate press narrative and will counter that narrative with the truth. They take the time, do the research, look in and see what's going on, and counter the lies from the corporate press and the mainstream news. Because these people will lie to you. This is why Kamala Harris has all the support she has. Because I can almost assure you, if the corporate press didn't lie, Trump would win in a freaking landslide. He'd win all 50 states. It's almost guaranteed. Because look at how Kamala Harris speaks. It's nuts. Right? She did that town hall and didn't answer a single question. An hour and a freaking half. That's mind-blowing. Asked by CNN's MJ Lee whether the White House agrees with Kelly's report assessment of his former boss, Jean-Pierre launched into a lengthy answer on the January 6, 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol before ultimately saying, yes, the White House agrees with that assertion. Look, you've heard from this president over and over again about the threats to democracy, and the president has spoken about that. You've heard from the former president himself saying he is going to be a dictator on day one. This is him, not us. This is him, she said. There you go. No, this is him saying it, right? As if Donald Trump never makes a joke. We all can listen to that clip of when he says, only on day one. When Sean Hannity asks, are you going to be a dictator? Oh, only on day one. So what if he's a dictator on a single day? Like, where's the harm in a joke? I don't understand these people, and they run with this, and they come off as being so serious. But it's really hard to take these people seriously when they take an obvious joke and fearmonger based upon that obvious joke. Like, every time from now on, when you hear Kamala Harris talking about, oh, Trump's running a fear campaign, remember this article, folks. Remember this article, because this is what they do. They are running a fear campaign. That is the only way they're getting any support at all, is the fear of Orange Man. Orange Man is bad. And now we have two Orange Men. We have Donald Trump and Elon Musk. That's right, y'all. Jean-Pierre was referring to a Fox News town hall Trump participated in last year. Fox News' Sean Hannity tried giving Trump an open to assure Americans he would not abuse the power of his office were he to win a second term, but the former president responded, except for day one. I want to close the border, and I want to drill. So that's what he plans to do as dictator. He's going to close off the southern border and drill for oil. So you can be safe, for one, and your energy prices will plummet, folks. Yes, that is the result of Trump being a dictator on day one, y'all. So they can run with this line, but it's outright laughable when you take the context and put it all in, put it all together, wrap it up with a little bow, and look at everything. It's like, these people, are they really being serious with fear-mongering about Donald Trump talking about wanting to be a dictator and Donald Trump being a fascist? You mean the same fascist that allowed BLM to burn cities to the freaking ground? Like seriously, if you're one of those people out there that believe Trump is a fascist, all right? Like, and I'm sure, I know I got Democrats and leftist people that do watch these videos from time to time. So let me know, like, do you believe that a fascist would allow the opposition party to burn cities to the freaking ground, firebomb your own house, the top of the government, the top of the federal government, the White House? Bet you guys don't know about May 29th, the insurrection that took place where BLM and Antifa firebombed St. John's Church, firebombed guard stations, tried to break down the fence around the White House, forced Donald Trump into a bunker. Bet you don't know about that insurrection, do you? Would a fascist allow for all of this to take place? The entire summer of love. Do you think a fascist would have a global pandemic come in and not force everybody to be locked down? That wasn't Trump that locked everybody down, folks. That was your state government that did that. That is right. Would a fascist allow for opposition media to just run unchecked and unopposed? Would they do that? Does that sound like something a fascist would do? Now you might say, oh, well, we got the Constitution and we got guardrails. Well, hang on. Donald Trump was president for 4 years. He had ample opportunity to absolutely destroy the Constitution like you guys keep saying he wants to do. But he never did it, did he? And he keeps repeating, we're the party of law and order. And as a matter of fact, in you guys, in your mind, when he sent his horde of right-wing extremists to the Capitol to coup the government, because that's what y'all think, isn't it? Y'all think he sent these people to coup the government. He sent them unarmed, with no plan whatsoever. Because there was no organized plan to any of that. And then most of the people weren't even violent. Out of the 1,400 people that were arrested, 200 people had violence charges. Yeah, I'm sorry, you guys. Y'all are the ones missing the plot here. Y'all are the ones that are looking at some totally different screen. Y'all have lost reality. Like, you have no grip on reality left if you believe that Donald Trump is a fascist, and yet a fascist allowed for all of these things to take place. Y'all are insane. Jean-Pierre later added on Wednesday, I know that the vice president just spoke about this to agree about that determination. Yes, we do. We do. Asked directly whether Biden believes Trump is a fascist, Jean-Pierre said, I mean, yes, the former president has said he is going to be a dictator on day one. We cannot ignore that. And you haven't ignored that, as a matter of fact. While Biden has frequently pitched this election about a choice between the future of democracy in America and its possible destruction, Jean-Pierre's answer Wednesday is one of the strongest denunciations of the former president that has come from the White House briefing room during Biden's term. It's another moment that signals Biden and his White House are feeling less constrained now that his term is entering its final months. The president has made appealing to moderate Republicans a part of his re-election strategy before he dropped out of the race in July. And while he branded Trump a threat to democracy frequently, he had not been quite so blunt. Previously, Biden said more than 2 years ago that semi-fascism underpins MAGA ideology. There is no such ideology, by the way, just to let you guys know. Because making America great again, yeah, you can get to that through many different means. It doesn't have, there's no ideology to MAGA, by the way. These people are nuts, y'all. Vice President Kamala Harris has also been forthright about what she sees as the dangers involving a second Trump presidency. In an interview with Charlemagne the God earlier this month, the Democratic presidential nominee agreed that Trump is about fascism. CNN Wire. Now, I will say this. I feel pity for Charlemagne a lot because you can't title yourself the God. I'm sorry. God's going to frown upon that, as a matter of fact. And to any of you guys out there that didn't know, I'm a Christian. I strongly believe in God, for sure. I don't have a denomination. I'm not like your typical run-of-the-mill Christian, right? I'm not a Baptist. I was raised a Baptist, not Catholic. I'm not a denomination whatsoever. I don't believe in the church for the most part. It is a force for good. I will say that. I don't like some of the teachings. It's kind of weird, some of it. You know, I've been to a lot of different churches in my life, but I stick to my relationship with God, and I try to go based upon that. I don't necessarily care for the Bible all that much. There's too many inconsistencies, if you will, in that Bible. It was written by man. It's supposed to be the Word of God, but it was interpreted by man, so it's flawed. And, you know, I've read the Bible. I've read a lot of the Bible, but, you know, it's like, I don't know. I just don't buy into that. My gut feeling when I pray to God, when I talk in my mind, my gut feeling is that all the religions of this world, all of them, are getting a lot wrong. For some reason, I just feel that in my core. That's why I don't want to commit myself to any specific religion. But I don't think that naming yourself the God is any good way to get into heaven. I imagine he's an atheist, because you can't really be religious, especially, you know, with the Abrahamic religion, for sure, right? Like, you know, Christianity, Protestant, Judaism, Muslim, Islam. Yeah, you can't call yourself the God in any kind of circumstance and get away with it. Like, that just doesn't make any sense, because, yeah, that's wrong for sure. So I see some pity on this guy right here. But, you know, these people are just nuts, y'all. Like, how can they go so far so fast with all this ridiculousness? I just don't get that one. That one blows my mind, and I will never understand these people for that reason. Like, they just taken this to the next level, just continuously trying to turn it up and turn it up and turn it up. And it's like, eventually you're going to hit a ceiling, right? Like, I really thought the whole "he's literally Hitler" thing was the ceiling. Like, you can't get much worse than Hitler. But then I saw that article where they're comparing him. He's Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini all wrapped up into one. It's like, okay, now you're taking it, like, really, like, this is it's pushing itself into being satirical, as a matter of fact, because I can't take these people seriously. And when you have Donald Trump's opponent getting out there and saying, well, what we need to do is what needs to be done to do what we need to do this. It's like, what are you saying here? Talking about Donald Trump wants to run on a problem instead of fix a problem. You know, if I do remember his first little year or so when he became president, he fought like hell to get that wall built. He tried getting Mexico to pay for it because that was a campaign promise. We're going to get Mexico to pay for it. Yeah, that didn't work out, did it? No, it didn't. And people, like, still go after him. Oh, Mexico never built that wall, did they? No. But he tried, at least. Of course it was a lofty goal. Like, do you really think a whole nother country is going to pay for that? No. But, hey, good job trying, buddy. You know, but he still had to fight tooth and nail to get any of that wall built. It's like, come on, like, what are y'all doing here? Like, it just makes no sense. You know, with all the stuff I've explained already with allowing BLM to run amok all over the country for an entire summer and not do a damn thing to stop it. Right? Like, that's one of my criticisms. He should have invoked the Insurrection Act, brought in the National Guard, and shut all this garbage down. But he didn't. He wanted to be fair, because there was an overwhelming number of peaceful protesters mixed up with all these rioters that got in there. Right? And it's like, come on, dude. Go in, target the rioters. Don't target the peaceful protesters. Right? Who cares if they look at you as a fascist? Like, who cares? You're not. It's plainly clear that you're not. You get leftist media out there calling him a fascist anyway. So, the end result, of course, Monday morning quarterbacking this thing is kind of, it's easy to do for me to look back and say, they called him a fascist anyway, he should have done it. But, at the time, I can understand the point. I don't agree with it. But it's like, calling him a fascist is tantamount to calling Kamala Harris qualified for the position, if you know what I mean. It's ridiculous notion to think that Kamala Harris can do this job. It's going to be another Biden presidency. And, with how much Joe Biden has lied, do you really expect anybody to buy into what he's saying? No. All this is fuel for the left. It's their circuitous confirmation process, right? Corporate press, they'll get out there and say, oh, well, Trump is a fascist. Somebody reported Trump is a fascist. And then the White House, they'll say, oh, well, CNN reported that Trump is a fascist. And then CNN will come back in and say, well, the White House reported Trump is a fascist. Then it's like, what is going on here? Like, these people just make absolutely no sense with their garbage. That article from The Atlantic was insane. I was reading this thing out, like, when I got to the part where they started talking about Trump was talking about $60,000 for this funeral is too much to bury a Mexican. I'm like, come on, that just sounds like way too hyperbolic. That sounds like a comic book villain saying something, like one of those corporate elitist evil people from a movie. It's like, no, people don't say, Trump is not going to say that. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, anybody that knows Trump, I don't know Trump, but I've heard testimonials. He's the nicest person ever. Just don't cross the guy. And then you get, the Rosie O'Donnell treatment. I'm just saying. But, I think that's all I got for this one, y'all. Y'all do me a favor. Don't forget to smash that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not already. Share this video anywhere and everywhere. And that's all I got for this one. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. And y'all try to have a good day and stay legitical. Peace.